What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 5, and we start today's episode off with some player training and also a player conversation, as well as Callum Robinson says thanks for all the first team football he's been getting, and Jagielka says he needs to consider his future here unless he gets selected more often. And I was like, mate, what are you, 46? It's time to retire, mate, that's your future. But either way, first game of today's episode would see us travel away from home to London to take on West Ham. Of course, coming on the back of the 1-1 draw we had in the last game, in the last episode, against the Gunners at Bramwell Lane, which of course was heartbreak. It was our first point picked up at Bramwell Lane this season against a really good Arsenal side. We were seconds away from winning the game and picking up our first win at home this season as well. But taking a West Ham, lining up in our 5-3-2 as we continue to do. Obviously, we have had a struggling start to the season. I haven't really exactly got to grips with the tactics just yet, but I have discussed before, I do want to stay with a 5-3-2 or possibly the 3-5-2 for the remainder of the first season at the very least, just because it's the system Sheffield United play in real life, so it's more of a realism feel to it. But first chance in the game fell to us. Burnley heading that ball just wide the post as it was still goalless, and he was looking our best player in the first half as well, as his strike partner Lys Mousset in the team for this game was denied by Lucas Fabianski as he pushed the shot behind for a corner. But the first half belonged to Sheffield United. We were looking a better team, we were pressing, we were winning the ball back quite high up the pitch as well, as McBurney rolled through Mousset. Great chance here for his third Premier League goal and his first since the brace against Everton. Tried to chip the Polish goalkeeper Fabianski, just like I did for Pickford, the two goals against Pickford against Everton when we say. Good save though, as it was still goals, and we missed so many chances in the first half. This is a really scrappy moment here as well. I have noticed this in this year's FIFA quite a lot. There are a lot of scrappy moments there as Fabianski claims a simple header, but despite the stats suggest it was quite balanced in the first half, the highlights told a different story. We were really dominant and looking the far better side, and it continued that way in the second half as well, as Mousset rolled it through to McBurney, who finally gets his first Premier League goal, and I was absolutely buzzing to see this as well. Oliver McBurney, starting the season off, hadn't managed to get a single goal so far for the former Swansea striker. He's not had that problem in real life, but I just persisted with him. I knew he'd come good at some point. He's got 3 assists this season. He's a good target man support player, playing up top with someone. Hasn't had the finishing touch yet, but that was beautiful. Stroked into the bottom corner there, across the ground. It seemed to trickle into the back of the net in slow motion there, but it was so accurate, right into the bottom corner first time, and the wait is finally over. Patience is a virtue, and McBurney scores his first goal for Sheffield United. But the lead might not have lasted long. Just a couple minutes after that, West Ham won themselves a penalty. First penalty we conceded this season. John Fleck bringing down Pablo Zabaleta in the box. Got to be honest here, you can see my reaction on the sideline when I kind of changed it when I saw the fourth official was looking at me. But either way, I was unsure about the decision there. It was sort of more of a coming together, accidental collision more than anything. Regardless, that's not how VAR saw it. Penalty for the Hammers, and Dean goes the wrong way as West Ham find their equalising goal from 12 yards. So the lead lasted for just a couple of minutes. West Ham back on level terms from the spot, and that was how the game would finish. Final score: West Ham 1, Sheffield United 1. It's another very credible point. I'll certainly take the result. 3 games unbeaten in a row now. But again, it's just like the Watford game last episode. It's missed opportunities. We had a chance to win that game. We probably should have won that game. On the balance of play, we were the better team, regardless of what the stats said. Sadly, couldn't hold on to the 3 points. And our quest for our first Premier League clean sheet also continues. Still yet to pick up a clean sheet in the Premier League this season. But the point, as you can see, it helps. We're now up to 14th place in the table as we enter November. Although Crystal Palace, do have a game in hand and are only behind us on goal difference. But it's really tight right now at the bottom of the table. Only a few points are separating several teams. And it's not a surprise. We only played a few games to start the Premier League campaign off. Regardless, we are gradually climbing up the table, and that's the most important thing. But as it is the first of the month, we have an academy update here, so you can see how our youth players are currently getting on. Of course, we saw Oliver Shaw get given an academy deal in the last episode. 61 rated left back. Decided to give him a pro deal as well straight afterwards. And as you can see, he's got left back and right back list of positions. He's 61 overall. Exciting prospect, and he's 6'3" with 3-star, and high medium work rates as well. I gotta say, I like the look of this guy. I really do. He's quite skinny despite being 6'3". Not the biggest frame on him, that's for sure. But either way, I like the look of him, and I decided to give him some training straight away. Took out one of the drills for McBurney, and gave him a defensive drill as well. And I think you'll see in today's episode too, I give him another drill. I took out McKinley, not McBurney. And yeah, you'll see later on, I take out McBurney, one of his drills, and give Shaw another drill, because I like the look of him. I really do. Exciting prospect. And again, down the left-hand side, we've got Stevens, we've got Osborne, but I wouldn't mind a good young talent. And that's why for the second game of today's episode, no clean sheets in our first 10 Premier League games. I decided to put Shaw in at left wing back and hand the 16-year-old his debut for a clash here at Bramall Lane against Burnley. Right now, just 1 point and 1 place above us in the table. And it's because we've got Stevens and Osborne who can play left wing back. They've been rotating quite a bit in the first 10 games, but I'm not overly convinced by either of them so far. And obviously, Baldock plays right wing back. There's no one else to change him for. The right wing back is the only good one we got right now. So I thought I'd give Shaw a start, see what the 16-year-old can do. He's got the exciting prospect tag, and I threw him straight in the deep end. And the first chance for us fell just 15 minutes in. John Fleck going for goal, shot blocked, but McBurney follows up the rebound and puts it home, and I cannot believe it. Like London buses, you wait so long for one and then two come along at once. McBurney, second goal in 2 games. Very big element of fortune to the goal with the shot deflecting straight into his path about 80 yards out, but either way he'll take it. McBurney gets his second goal, and finally, like I said, patience is a virtue, and finally it pays off. McBurney 2 goals in 2, and great to see our Scottish striker finally starting to find his feet here in the Premier League. But it was still 1-0 in the first half, and I got to say, we defended really well in this first half too against Burnley. We were really closing them down and stopping them from getting any direct route to our goal. Despite their shots coming in through inside the area, you saw they right before the break. The shots were blocked. Henderson wasn't really tested in the first half. We were blocking everything. Our defence was much more committed and way better than before. And I like the look of Ollie Shaw because he kept on getting forward in this game. So I want to see from my wing backs up and down the pitch all game long with high stamina. Kept on attacking down left hand side, not afraid at the moment. He had a good chance there to get an assist as well. Moussa firing that shot just wide the post, but it was how the game finished. We defended so well in that match, and we grinded out our first win at Bramall Lane this season, and you guessed it as well, our first clean sheet of the season. Well, and I thought defensively too. Man of the match could have been split between all of our back 5, including the 16-year-old Ollie Shaw, because we defended way better than ever before. And you know, I've seen some of the comments, and I know based on the start I've had to the season as well, some of you guys have been questioning my defending, and you know, that's not a surprise and totally justified. My defending's been atrocious in this year's FIFA so far, but in that game I finally found my feet, wasn't shaking the controller every time the AI came forward, and didn't have my players looking like Bambi on ice out there. Way better defensively, and great for us to pick up our first, finally, after such a long time, clean sheet in the Premier League. But for our third and final game of today's episode, on the back of 4 unbeaten games in a row, Sheffield United, our longest unbeaten streak of the season, we once again travelled to London, second time in 3 games, as we would take on Tottenham Hotspur, Mauricio Pochettino's Tottenham Hotspur, away from home at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So McBurney in red hot form right now, 2 goals in 2 games. Shaw would once again start and keep his place, the young 16-year-old. And again, I'm really liking the look of this 16-year-old. I really, really am. He strides forward at 6'3", with those long, lanky legs, and he almost caught Hugo Lloris out of a cross-come shot, which was turned over by the Frenchman. That would have been an incredible first away start for sure there, had that snuck in, but it was still goalless. And again, we're going at teams now as well, and I'm really like to see this Egan's shot here going just over the bar after we won man the match in the last game. That would have been an amazing way to follow it up. We're going at teams though right from the get-go and looking to attack, unlike in our first early games. But in the 37th minute, Spurs would find their breakthrough after a period of nice possession. Kyle Walker-Peters down the right-hand side, caught out Shaw, and that's the inexperience of the young man right there. The little shimmy by Kyle Walker-Peters, like a little hesitation, stops Shaw from keeping up with him, whips in a driven cross, and it's turned in the middle by Dele Alli, who of course scored yesterday in real life against Watford. So 1-0 to Spurs, and to us, despite a pretty encouraging start from the Blades, Spurs were the far better team in this game. And with 20 minutes to go, Heung-min Son made it 2-0 and surely wrapped up the points for Pochettino's boys. And Son, I mean, this guy literally always scores against me. Pretty much every time I face Spurs, he is so good, the South Korean there, making it 2-0, smashing it in past Dean Henson at the near post. Dean did deny him a few minutes later, but there was such a heavy spell of pressure from Spurs in the final 20 minutes. They kept on attacking. They made it 3-0 through Harry Winks as Harry Kane assisted the number 8 there. 3-0 was the final score, but if Spurs really wanted it, it could have been 4, 5, 6. They were on top for pretty much the majority of the game despite our early start, and they thoroughly deserved the win, which takes them back to the top of the table. So the unbeaten streak is over, it ends at 4, and our unbeaten streak away from home is over as well. That also ends at 4. We hadn't lost away from home since the opening day against Bournemouth. That now changes a defeat away against Spurs as they go back to top spot, and we remain in the bottom half, still struggling to pick up wins in succession. But that will end today's episode of Career Mode, guys. So big thank you for watching. Really hope you have enjoyed it, and if you did enjoy today's episode, then please do drop a like. Much love to you, and I will see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.